Right, we're live. It's Tom Cassidy here. I've got Mick Hartley on the other end of the phone. Now, Mick is a psychotherapist in the north of England, and he's put together a program using the 13 by 4, which is all about transforming anger. And he's got a very unique spin on the whole idea of anger and how to transform anger. Mick, why don't you just say hi and talk us through this 13 by 4, just the overview of the program.
Yeah, hi Tom. Well, I decided to do the 13 by 4 focusing on anger because I think anger is a real problem. I get a lot of people coming to see me with anger issues and really not knowing how to control their anger, or often getting very stuck in patterns with people and finding it quite difficult to really feel a sense of fulfillment in their relationships and in their life because of their difficulty with their anger, how it sort of connects and can cause quite a lot of problems for them. So that's why I decided to focus on it. And if you look at the program itself, there's quite a lot of, well, there's 4 main domains with it.
Yeah.
The first stage of dealing with anger is the awareness stage. The focus here is about gaining insight into what we feel angry about, what creates anger in us, what we attach to in that process.
Yeah.
There's a lot of levels to this. So often especially say when somebody comes to see a psychotherapist like myself, they've got to quite an extreme level of awareness around the anger where they've started expressing it in a way that's out of control.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's caused a lot of pain for themselves and for others. But there are other levels to that. So often as we gain awareness of this, we can start to catch our anger a lot earlier, see it in our thoughts, see it just in mild irritation, and take notice of that a lot early in the process before it builds up into a level of intensity that we feel we have to express and we have to get rid of. So this is what this main section is about on the awareness section.
Right, excellent. Okay, what about action?
Well, when we've gained awareness, we have to start to behave differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because awareness itself doesn't solve the problem as such, although it does have an effect. So that starts to open up our relationship with anger in a new way, does the awareness. But the action is how we start to make things different. And one of the early stages of this is, as you can see there, number 6 is becoming the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And that's essentially creating a boundary with us in the world, with our anger, and regulating it. So, that's about stopping things coming in that we feel angry about that are affecting us.
Yeah. So that's
and also
kind of
stopping the expression of it as well.
Yeah. Okay. So that's like an awareness, but there is an actual action there, which is actually to do something about it. Okay. And talk to me about why the attitude is after the action. That's quite interesting. That's the one that's next.
Yeah. Well, the attitude then is we're looking at then how our thoughts are affected. So this the first stage of that is the identity stage. Towards the end of the action, there's a area that we're looking at creating space, which is where we change our relationship with anger, so we can look at it from a much broader perspective, and that creates some space. So then we can look at our identity with who we feel we are with anger. One of the difficulties is that we actually, when we have such an intense feeling, we can believe that this is us, that in this anger is us.
We know that, yeah.
At all.
Absolutely. Okay, and then appreciation. What's that all about?
Well, this is really essentially the stuff we're missing out on when we're in angry process.
Yeah.
So it's helping us actually see, and again, broadening our perspective. So the first stage of this is the question is, who is our real teacher? And is it some guru sat on a mountain or under a tree somewhere, or or is it our experience? And I think about it in terms of our experience. But the difficulty is that we often don't know how to learn from our experience. So this is, I mean, this whole process here is about learning from our experience, but this is to really focus on that area, you know, the people who annoy us and what's going on for us in that process is a really important learning experience that we can learn from the people we become most annoyed with.
Yeah, of course.
Teaching us something about ourselves if we know how to make sense of it and how to look for that within ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then finally the central focus. So you got the 4 domains: awareness, action, attitude, and appreciation. And then central focus, which is awakening. You obviously like the letter A.
Well, the reason behind that actually was to do with the sound of anger, the A in the anger, and just to sort of find a way of opening up that into other vowel sounds around that, and there is something important in that which we'll look at.
I like that.
The effects of anger, actually. That language and sounds are very important in it. But yes, the awakening is essentially the hub of the process, really. One of the things about anger is, in some ways, it's a very delusional feeling, in that what we can feel angry about today we'll have probably forgotten about in 6 months' time. It will have no importance, and yet in this moment it's very powerful, and we feel it's so important. So we become unawake in that. So this whole process is about awakening ourselves to actually what is going on, really, rather than getting stuck in stuff. It's actually opening up our psychological system to be able to react, respond, and initiate in new ways.
Fantastic. All right, Mick. Well, thanks very much for your time today. It's a lovely, just a very short and simple overview of the program, and the beauty of the 13 by 4, which I'm a very, 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 very keen popularist of, originally from Ben Franklin's pen 250 or something years ago, is the idea that you don't have to get overwhelmed by taking all of these things on in one go. You can just take things one at a time. That's what I like about what Mick's done with his program here. And this is obviously the culmination of years of experience of dealing with patients and dealing with people on a one-to-one, and we'll get into that in another video. But I can see immediately, not knowing anything about anger, not knowing anything about how to transform anger, I can easily see how, yeah, this would work. Yeah, this would work. It's just step by step, just focusing one thing at a time, just focusing on these 4 domains and cycling through this wheel. I could see that. I'm looking at this, not knowing anything about it, and thinking, yeah, this would work. So thanks very much for your time, Mick, and I'm looking forward to getting into some real detail in some other videos.
Okay, Tom, thank you.